What'd you say?
This is natural.
I know. Today I was trying to read out loud, which I designated that job. It says it's me, but I'm so bad at reading out loud. And my husband goes, let's hear what you're going to read. And I started reading, and he goes, oh my gosh, make sure you're like doing this a lot and looking pretty so people don't notice how bad you are reading. I was like, you are a jerk. Okay, what? Oh, meet the leader. So that's me. My name's Christy Masters. I started Premiere. I was Carrie's first Premiere baby. I started, 2009 or 2009?
2009.
Yeah, and I was working as a speech therapist. This is kind of my beginning of my home show too. That long.
Wait,
and now I started.
You were a speech therapist?
I know. No, I can't read out loud. So bad. Okay, but I was a speech therapist. I went to Geneseo for college. I worked at Happiness House. If anybody knows Happiness House, it's a preschool and an adult rehabilitation center. I worked in the preschool in Geneva, and then I worked in Canandaigua. I did that for almost 3 years. And then I had Brooklyn, my daughter, and speech therapy, the lovely job that I loved so much just started becoming less and less lovely, and I almost felt like I was in prison. Like I had to make money because I had kids that I had to support, but I was driving to my mom's in Canandaigua. I live in Lima. It's like a half-hour drive, and sobbing most of the time. I was trying to like stop and nurse her on my lunch and like it pumping while driving.
Oh.
Really safe. It was just really bad. And so Carrie said, you know, I just started something crazy. It's jewelry. It's called Premiere Designs. It's this biblically based company. I'm just doing it to save for my wedding. Would you ever be interested in doing something like that? And I think I said something to the tune of like, not really. And she was like, I'll be right over so we can talk about it. Oh. Okay, so she came over, and don't wear this with Manhattan. This is my first time. But seriously, he's so cute. Okay, and it doesn't.
Pictures in it?
Oh yeah, off my Christmas card, snipped them out so small. I had glue gunned them in too, because I was scared they're gonna fall. Okay, so she came over and I signed up. I think like that next day, Lori drove me around in her car with her one little baby in the back seat, and I was like, if she can do this, and I remember my biggest fear was, how am I ever gonna get bookings? I said, how do you have that many friends? And she laughed at me and she said, I don't do shows for friends. I do shows off of shows. And I was like, okay, well, I'll date it for 6 months. I'll try it and see how it works. And I don't know, I think I was almost 4.5 months pregnant for my son when I found out. I was like, oh, who's gonna raise him? I have a baby, and she's 4 months old. No, she was like 8 months old. But anyway, so after that whole thing, I ended up, my son was 9.5 pounds, and I decided I was just gonna like give my body a break for a while. So I didn't do anything. I quit Premiere, I quit speech. It was the lowest low of my income life. It was lonely. I didn't have camaraderie. I was home like being crazy, hormonal, and so I called Carrie one day and I said, hey, do you think I could like do Premiere again? And she was like, I'll be right over. Again, she's always over. And I re-signed almost 2 years ago. And the first time I did Premiere, I didn't sponsor. I just did it for retail. And the difference now, I do sponsor, and I make that, I put it like more forefront of my mind when I'm going to shows. And the difference just in like making a conscious effort is 100% different. You'll find out in our thing. I'm not gonna talk about that anymore. But that's kind of my story. I set up my home show for you guys. I thought that might be nice every month, coming and seeing somebody's table different. I just laid out kind of helter-skelter. I do bring some neck stands. I changed Amy's dress because I was sliding. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna say this. I am. 12 years. I was sliding her in and out of my trunk so much that she got holes in her nipples. And then at home show, I was like up there and I was like, oh, there's something white on her dress, and I just like tore it even more, and I was like, oh my gosh, she should have a bra on. So I changed her dress. I used it since 2009 though, so in and out of the trunk, she got a lot of usage there. And so this is how I set it up. I try to keep colors together, but I let them know this is all my jewelry, and I want you guys to pick it up and try it on, so I keep it kind of usable and accessible for the people. And you guys come up here too and try it on and look at it and stuff, because I mean, if you don't have the pieces and you want to know what they look like, I have a lot of pieces. This actually, I keep 2 trays at home in my desk drawers that I can pick and like wear for that week. So this is all of it minus 2 trays. And now it's time for a reading from Amy.
Yay.
So I don't have to.